Bye, Libra. Venus will be in your sign. Retrogrades abound. Eclipse at the end of July. Come on, Leo season. Sensitive, like a raw nerve right now. It's like when you don't know what's happening, but you don't want to say so. You don't know what to do, but you definitely don't want anyone to know. You don't know what to do. It's laying low, but it's anxious. King of Pentacles. Earth energy, abundance, moving slowly, wealth. So if you're worried about money matters, or if you're worried about earth sign matters. Ooh. Bottom of the deck, 10 of Pentacles, a group of cards here, 4 of Wands, 9 of Swords, 7 of Wands. Coming out of a period of sadness to a period of stability. Let's keep that 10 of Pentacles there. So 4 of Wands, love, celebration, unity. 10 of Pentacles, love, celebration, unity. 9 of Swords, overthinking, feeling lost and held back. Virgo got that card as well. Things just aren't progressing, but also the tendency for Libra to take it out on themselves when all is not perfect is severe. And the way you take it out on yourselves is pretty much what dude's doing right there. But you will overcome it. When you look at it, the 4 of Wands, and then here I'll show you the 9 of Swords, and then the 7 of Wands. It's a high and then a dip and then a high. That's a lot of what coming out of Cancer season and into Leo season is about. And then the 10 of Pentacles, bottom of the deck, to reassure you there that it is indeed on an upswing back up. Of course. It's just about, perhaps in your case, I don't think this is much about freeing yourself from people. I think it's certain thought processes that Cancer season has brought up and been like, yo, Libra, this might be a little bit toxic. And you're in that process of, like in the Leo reading, I said exfoliating. It's that process of just sloughing off the dead stuff. And a lot of the dead stuff might have put you in that 9 of Swords energy. It's just toxic thought patterns, dynamics that don't work anymore. You've reached a place of success, 4 of Wands, that requires you to let go of that lost mentality. You're like looking at yourself now and over the course of August and going, hey, like I'm accomplishing stuff. I'm moving around. I'm progressing and evolving, and I can feel it. And I'm overcoming things that I didn't think would work out. Those things you were pushing for and just weren't moving, and they start to move by mid-August, and you're like, whew. And you may already be coming into Leo season being like, whew, King of Pentacles, 4 of Wands, abundance, stability, slow but steady growth, celebration of that growth, celebration of something that took a while to complete, fruition, 10 of Pentacles, and 7 of Wands, be it temporary, but still victory. So then it's funny, right? Because the only card out of any consternation or negativity is that 9 of Swords, which is just per definition a Libran hell. You know, it's like where you guys go when you don't know what else to do. You disappear into your mind and no one can find you there. You're good at hiding there. So all these cards of success, overcoming, and yet I would like to say that the Nine of Swords here is just a remnant. It's just a remnant of what you've been through the past 6 months and how hard it was for so many different reasons and how gunky and weird it was for other reasons and how, well, you know, look at the blanket he's got. The blanket's got the symbols for the planets and the signs. It's like the weight of all the placements, the weight of everything that's happened, the weight of all the different transits and everything that's just been affecting you. And in some ways you've been feeling like Cancer season is just like wave after wave after wave. And so it, of course, it feels weird to be like, hey, King of Pentacles, Four of Wands, like success, money. If it's that earth sign you're really like checking for, boom, you know, happy home, happy wife, happy life stuff with the earth sign. That's good. And yet there's this, that's where it cuts off. There's this lurking sadness. I really think it's just a remnant, but it's a remnant that you have to obviously overcome. Bottom of the deck, Wheel of Fortune. Things are turning in your favor. In a big way. When those scales balance out, it's always awesome. Things are turning in your favor. The scales are going to balance in your favor. It's been a hard 6 months. We knew when we got to the eclipses things would change. Here we are. Things are changing. The Wheel of Fortune. Things get spun. All the negativity that people threw at you spins back around at them. All their positivity spinning to your Ten of Pentacles fruition. Whatever you've just completed or are completing is going to bring a lot of money. It's good times. The Wheel of Fortune is just yet another indicator. When you see them, from my perspective, you'll see how the Ten of Pentacles and Wheel of Fortune next to each other. It's obvious. Lots of circles, lots of wealth, lots of receptive energy on the part of Libra to receive this wealth. No problems there. Libra has been softened by the tumult of the last year, and there's nothing you could really do or say. You know, it's like someone's being tenderized. What are you supposed to say? Like, I'm sorry, or it's going to get better. Like, no, it's going to be 6 months, you know? But now that we're past it, the next 6 months are golden, man. It's going to be really good, just as long as the overthinking doesn't, you know, stifle you. Just as long as you are able, like I said to Virgo, to discipline your mind. It's really, really important when the Nine of Swords comes up that that's something that we talk about. Don't let your mind wander off. Just be like, look at that blanket. It's all the transits. Don't let your mind wander off because of something that's happening. Like, up there. Don't fall for it. Keep that energy of the Wheel of Fortune turning in your favor. Whenever you start to fall into that place of overthinking, you're like, no, but the wheel is turning for me. All the stuff that I've been planning out that didn't seem like it was going to work out, that for a while I was like, oh my God, can I even do this? And now it's all come together, and now it's happening. Now I'm succeeding. Now I'm finished with what I needed to do. And I can imagine and see and feel that great abundance and wealth coming to me. Great. But if it doesn't, you know, come right away, you've got 6 months for this eclipse energy to really work on you now. Don't make the mistake of falling into the Nine of Swords energy just because it's not happening like right now. Like, okay, I finished it. Where's the money? Okay. Or I invented the thing. Where's the money? Or I, you know, made this deal. Where's the payoff? It will come. It will come. Bottom of the deck really speaking loud in this reading. And I feel like it's because it's stuff that's going to happen no matter what. But you right now are like that Nine of Wands character who just can't see, you can't see where the blessings are going to come from. Wheel of Fortune is sudden, you know, it suddenly turns. It has that Uranus energy of like, ooh, and things are totally different now. So no, you can't anticipate it. And you can't plan for it either, you know, which, like, for you guys, that sucks because you like planning stuff. Like I said, pure abundance. Abundance of the season, you know, farm to table abundance. Abundance in terms of what is in your life right now, growing, the things that you knew if you put to seed, they would sprout and they would multiply. It's happening. That's the grain. Staying in the flow. There's the water, the trees and the earth she sits on. There's the King of Pentacles. You are rooted in abundance, and it is the universe is smiling on you. And you might be a bit shell-shocked. That's what the Nine of Swords can also be. Just someone who's like, oh, now everyone's being that, what, like, is it over? Yeah, it's over. The reign of wrath is over. It's been hard. It's been super hard. But now you get to walk out of this eclipse prison from 6 months ago into a brand new you. Someone who has lost a lot, but has also found out who they're made of, what they're made of, and who's there and who's not there, and what's valuable and what's not valuable, what's priceless and what's meaningless. And hopefully you find yourself at the very top of that list, and that's why that Empress card is coming up. It speaks to also your abundance carrying over into Virgo season, and just, you know, the wheel, when it turns for a while on its own momentum. Price is Right style. Knight of Wands, also a card that's come out a couple of times. That young fire energy that Leo will bring you. You'll love it. It'll add, you know, your air plus that fire. You guys are golden. You'll really be able to do good things in terms of communicating, in terms of beautifying yourself, and just, no, you'll just look better. The Hermit card. And if the person that you are involved with is a Virgo, they're definitely feeling it. They're here for all of it. They're being more communicative. They're being more open. In some ways, even more childlike. Like really opening up to the simplest version of themselves. Slow, perhaps, but very much there. Coming through is very present. And proud and happy. So whatever you've been able to overcome, they're happy. They notice it. They see you. And they offer you, you know, their best stuff in return. They're very generous with you. And they respect your success. It's nice. That's sweet. They're also, in their own way, perhaps going through something, so it would be good to check on them. Virgos are having not the kind of time they would ever tell you about, not the kind of tough time they would ever vocalize, but they're going through a tough time. They have been, just like you guys, for a little while. I think it's easier on you just because you handle it differently, but both of you have the tendency to get lost in the mind. So as a couple, as a Libra Virgo couple, that can be hard because you can isolate from one another even if you're sitting in the same room. But that is not the case now. Now is the time for love. Now is the time for cup running over love. Love being offered to you openly, easily. You offering them love. Even wonderful exchanges. You see how things just got easier? Man, after that Wheel of Fortune turns, things just get easier. Bottom of the deck, Seven of Pentacles. So there's not one negative card on the table. Everything positive except for the Nine of Swords. That in and of itself says a lot about what August is going to be like. It's going to be like blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing, and then points that make you, hold your head and say, does all this mean I have to give up my old existence or my old sense of self, my old persona for this new one? Because if you are completing things, right, you're completing things and you're moving forward, your partner is happy with you and supporting you, or they want to be more supportive, they're being more open, they're being more loving towards you. You have to then adjust, because you are the way you are based on what's going on around you. You're that connected person. So if these things are adjusting and shifting now, you have to adjust and shift. And that doesn't have to be a sad thing, and we don't have to tear ourselves down to rebuild ourselves. That's not necessary. You can augment. You can switch out things that aren't really that bad for things that are just way better. There's no need to, tear it to the foundation. It's not that kind of party. The structure is very sound. Of course, you're a Libra. The structure is very sound. Sure, we could polish up the scales a little bit, get it reweighted, if you will, but nothing that requires you to fall into a pit of sadness because you may not be able to match the vibrancy of Leo season just yet, but give yourself a week. Within the first week, you will start to feel all of your accomplishments and wants and needs that you've been putting out there for 6 months start to slowly come around and come to fruition. And by the time you get into the second and third week of August, you're really rolling. And you feel it and you see it, and you've got support, and you've got perhaps a bit slow in certain areas, like I said, maybe not as fast as you, but still very much there and very much what you need, which is stable. That's super good. All right, so let's take a look at these cards. I'll see you in a minute.
Hi. All right, so now that you can see them, it's pretty obvious that everything on the table is great. Even the slow-moving person seems to be really up for moving fast, going deeper into the relationship. And I'm not even trying to make you feel better. It may come off that way, but really the only place this month where the ails of the past year almost have kept you back, the only place where that will still exist is internally, which there's no really only, about that. That's everything. So you're lucky, because even though internally you may be feeling a bit shaky and worn out, that you may be like, but I don't feel this way. Okay, well, then at the very least, you're coming out of Cancer season super exhausted. You're tired, right? You're tired. And although you have overcome some huge personal battles, I would say, that leave you more open for love, that leave the door for luck wide open, that lead to your ascension in so many different ways. The Empress is about new sources of money, just the way the crops come up every year, a sustainable source of money, something that will pay dividends, an idea that you had a while ago that now it's just going to start going the right way. And it's sudden. The Wheel of Fortune has that sudden quality like the Tower, and sudden change with the Empress in front of it. I really can't see how you'll come out of August still feeling sad. And I know that's a big thing to say, because obviously everyone has things they're going through and everyone has their own pains and their own hurts. But I feel like by the time we come into Virgo season, you will be doing so good. And so much better than you may anticipate right now. Because there are things that are brewing, and they're in your favor. And you may just not be able to see it yet. You may just be too wrapped up, and that's okay. And I think that's why it's important to get this reading out early, actually. Before the retrograde, the Mercury retrograde season really like hits us and starts like, it's important to know this stuff, and also understand when the wheel is still, that the wheel is still there. It may turn a bit more slowly during the retrogrades, but it is going to turn. And when it like picks up speed and that suddenness, week 2 of August comes around, right away you'll feel it. And right away others will respond by getting in touch with you, making the initiative. Libras are very good at being receptive in certain areas. You guys really understand love. You understand the need for the chase. You understand making yourselves valuable so others come to you. And all of those things will be highlighted this month. You are really, really going to feel good, and you're going to attract who you want, as opposed to just, Libras, especially the women, but all Libras, they tend to just attract people because you're beautiful and you're symmetrical and really easy on the eyes and polite and nice, like you guys are sweet, easy to get along with. What's not to like? But that can be hard, right? Because you can end up with all these people really liking you, but you don't really like them. And a lot of times you'll hear Libra say, but it's not the one I like. It's not the guy or the girl that I like. This month, this season, you get offers from people you like. Like, your luck is really changing. It's turning around. I'm trying to be as calm as I can about it because I don't want to hype you too much, because it'll just upset your scales. You'll feel the tilt back. You already probably started to feel better in a lot of ways. You feel more secure. You're happy in your home situation. It's getting more stable. We've talked so much about that. The 7 of Wands is also interesting because you have to remember that the reason these are together is because it's so easy in the 7 of Wands energy to slide back. Right, I think it's, I forget which hexagram it is, but in the I Ching, one of the clarifiers is if you have scaled a dangerous ledge, once you've scaled it, no need to look back and be like, yeah, I did it. Move forward. Just keep moving forward so you don't slip back and fall. This is that. I actually think that you guys could use an I Ching card. I haven't done this in any of the readings, but since you guys swear that I'm like mad at you or I don't like you guys no more, which couldn't be further from the truth. I just know how hard it's been, and you guys are proud, and you don't like people babying you, and you certainly don't like people feeling sorry for you. And I just didn't want to be one of those people, But also, I can be a little bad about holding people's hands. I need to get better on that. You guys are sensitive. All right, so I Ching, let's do it. You guys could use right away, huh? All right. Now everyone else can be like, do we get I Ching cards? All right, so I have my little book here just to make it easy. I didn't know I was going to be doing this, or else I would have all this memorized by now. As soon as I see what the hexagram is, I'll know. Work on what has been spoiled. I actually really like this one. Repairing what is spoiled. It's a very good one. Let me read to you what it says, and then I'll give you my own. I've worked with the I Ching for so long. That's why I said I'll get these. It's just new on this sort of a card to look at. I use the coins and draw the lines out myself. But let me explain to you what this is. Wow, that dog's just not going to stop barking. Huh? You guys need peace. All right. So, repairing what is spoiled. Wind blowing against the base of a mountain can cause much damage. There is no place for the wind to go, as the mountain is immovable. Thus trees and dwelling places are ruined. In such a case, there is nothing to be done but repair what has been spoiled, working carefully to avoid weakness and vulnerabilities at the same time. So think about that. The example given there is air. Air that has no place to go. And so it causes destruction. Either fixed air, excuse me, like Aquarians, right? Can be very stubborn, can be very hard to move them along or move a situation along when an Aquarian doesn't want to cooperate. But this is about air that gets trapped and then does damage, and then what has to be done afterwards. And I think it really fits with what we were just saying. Sure, there has been damage. Yes, the air did get trapped. It did. We know this. It's fine. Yes, some of the trees and stuff were ripped up. Okay. But what does it say? Now is the time to focus on the weaknesses and vulnerabilities, not to get stuck there by acknowledging them, right? What did I say? I don't want to be too nice to you guys because I know you have a lot of pride, and I don't want to be that person that's babying you through a hard time and being like, oh, I'm sorry. I feel so bad for you. I feel so bad for you. You guys hate that, right? Having to admit it and say, yes, it was destructive. Whatever it was, my air self was destructive in this or that way, and some things have been spoiled. The beauty of this hexagram is that it acknowledges what's been spoiled. That's cool, yes. Yes, it happened, but then to move past it, to repair it, you have to face your weaknesses and vulnerabilities. You can only face them if you acknowledge what's been going on. So in a way, I've been making the same mistake you guys have been making. It's like, don't talk about the elephant in the room. Don't acknowledge this thing that's obviously going on, which is really painful. And the way I put it earlier in the reading was, being tenderized. Like, if it just seems polite to me that if someone's being tenderized, you don't go around pointing it out and going, hey, how's that tenderizing going? Hey, how's getting beat with that mallet feeling? Any better this week? Oh, no, you still feel bad? Hey, like, what's the point of doing that? But that's why I personally use the I Ching for for myself. I adore it. I love it. I love it. It's so smart. It just blows my mind. So the cool thing about this is it takes the acknowledgement almost for granted. It's like, get over it. That's not the point. Yes, things got a little bit messed up or things were destructive when that air got stuck. Fine, cool. Now is the time to acknowledge the weaknesses and vulnerabilities, not so we can be sad about them, but so we can make huge progress. Some walls are built better the second time after they get knocked over. You know what I'm saying? Okay, some trees and stuff got ripped up. Plant a garden. Why not? You don't have to replace it with what was there. You can just start to repair and see what comes up. See what decides to bloom for you. It is a time of repairing what is spoiled. Absolutely. Absolutely it is. And that's why this is just a remnant. Now and see the difference between what I was saying and what this hexagram is saying is that I was saying, okay, now you've been through this hard time and the universe is going to take you and start to push you and turn you in directions that are better for you. It may require a little more insight on your part, a little pulling in, which is, it's hard during Leo season to do that, but you may feel towards the beginning of Virgo season, the end of August, you may really start to feel that Virgo energy and start to pull in. That's what I was saying. So this is what the cosmos is going to put on you. The I Ching works very differently. It's very proactive. It's not about what the stars and what the universe and your sign, how all of that study of light is affecting. It's not about that. The 64 hexagrams read the vacuum of space-time. binary math and computers are based on the I Ching. The mathematician Leibniz, who came up with binary math, which led to computers, learned it from studying the I Ching. So this doesn't, the I Ching doesn't tell you what the powers and the planets and the waves and the rays and everything is going to be doing to you and how you will react to it. It tells you what you need to do. Repair what's spoiled. Don't be proud about it. Don't be shy about it. Don't be sorry about it. And if you're not any of those things, you're going to realize there's not much to fix. You guys are pretty good at being pretty perfect. There's not much to fix. So the few things that are there, just fix them. It's not a big deal. You're so close. Yeah, you may feel like this, but you're really close. Really close. Just make the adjustments. Rip the Band-Aids off if they're still on there. If cancer season wasn't able to mother you enough to rip it off, trust me, by the end of this week, you're going to be hollering. Because that Band-Aid's coming off before Leo season. I'm telling you, whether you healed underneath or not. This repairing what is spoiled, this healing can be of the heart. It is very possible that about 6 months ago, you got your heart broken by a friend, by a lover, a business associate. It's easier to talk about now because it's over. Because it's finally starting to stop pulling and deadening your heart so much. But like the wall that I was talking about, when you build it again, it can be stronger, like the bone that breaks and comes together and we know is stronger in the point where it was broken. So your heart can get put back together. Yeah, it took a while, okay. Maybe for some of you, you can't even imagine an Ace of Cups moment right now. That's okay. Time is funny that way. And if we have the intentionality, if we truly desire to heal the heart, then we'll stop looking outside of ourselves. All I see here is looking inward at the self. Sure, there are people around, but they're not that important. Even the ones that are super good, they're not that important. It's about you. You have to heal your heart when you let someone else's perceptions, when you let someone else's actions, when you let someone else's emotions dictate your life and how you feel. You get your heart broken. You can't put yourself back together according to their perceptions, right? Excuse me. You're left with this difficult task of having to now recreate yourself kind of from memory, from before you knew, or before that thing happened, or before whatever it was, before a series of events that made you feel like, what is going on in my life though? Why am I so lonely? Why did it happen like this? Now you get to repair it. And you don't have to put yourself back together in Leo season by what someone used to think of you, or by what you used to think of yourself. Forget all of it. Don't use a playbook. Y'all love following the rules. Don't follow the rules here because there are no rules, Libra. Now you put yourself back together, you get back on that horse, you ride. And how do you do it? What's your frame of reference? What do you go on? Nothing. Go on your instinct. Go on your instinct. Your instincts are sound. The Hermit card is there. Your instincts are good, especially this month. Use them. Of course, all of our instincts are good this month. Leo season? Cat instincts? Come on. You'll notice when we get to Libra season how people just even out. They spend more time on their appearance. They look prettier. They look nicer. They're sweeter. Sagittarius season, people are much sweeter. Right? It's Leo season. Your instincts are sharp. Use them. Let them guide you like the way cats are. Let your instincts guide you to whoever you are now becoming. Don't go off some dated playbook or off some dated person who made you feel bad about this, that, and the other. Who cares? Maybe all of this happened just so you could repair yourself in a new and really beautiful way. I like this. Let's start doing this, yeah? Yay! I love you guys. I really do. I'm happy for this reading too. It's balanced and it's fair and it's not sugarcoating anything. And yet there is so much abundance and goodness on the table. Trust me, by the time you get to the end of August, you're gonna be chilling, happy, really happy, you know? Feeling like, whoa, is this happening to me? But do the work in the meantime. Look it up. Look up the hexagram for repairing what is spoiled. Look at some of the images that come up. Look at, read a little bit about the I Ching. It will mesmerize you. I'll have to do a whole video. We just reached 10 million views, by the way, and I was thinking of doing a video. Maybe I'll do it on my experience with the I Ching. It changed my life from the moment I found out about it. My life has not been the same. It's incredible. I have only good things to say. I've learned so much. I've learned so much about life and patience and strategy and so much. I don't know how the Chinese do it. How do they know everything? Oh, I love it so much. Anyway, I love it so much like I love you guys. I'll see you in the extended. And I'll see you, in the extended, we'll clarify here. And we'll pull some new cards. And then I'll see you in September.